Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Warren for Queensbury Promotions, sponsored by JD Sports and Raynham Steel, proudly presents 12 3-minute rounds for the WBO and vacant WBA Intercontinental Super Flyweight Championship. Live and exclusive on Box Nation from the Echo Arena here in Liverpool. Your officials are appointed by the WBO and the WBA, and your three scoring judges at ringside are Mr. Andre van Groenbroel of Belgium, Mr. Michael Hook of Sweden, and Mr. Dave Farris of Leeds, UK. Your WBO supervisor is John Handler. Your WBA supervisor is Dave Roden. Your timekeeper at the bell is Gary Grennan. And when the action begins, your referee in charge is Andre Baliaso of the Ukraine. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, fighting out of the blue corner stands the Mexican champion. He brings with him a record of 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 8 KOs to his name. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled 8 stone, 2 pounds, and tonight wears the brown and gold shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Reynosa, Tamaulipas, Mexico, Ruben Montoya. And across the ring in the red corner stands the British Commonwealth and WBO Intercontinental Champion. His unbeaten record reads 13 wins with 7 KOs to his name. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled at 8 stone, 2 pounds, and tonight wears the white shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing from Ellesmere Port, the baby face assassin, Paul Butler. Your referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
¡Viva México!
Ladies and gentlemen, 12 3-minute rounds for the WBO and vacant WBA Intercontinental Super Flyweight Championship.
Well, they were instructions with a difference. No Mills Lane, let's get it on there.
All I could hear was Viva la Mexico.
I don't think that was the Ukrainian ref who was saying that. Well, I hope not. Anyway, let's see what transpires here. Paul Butler, such a sharp operator. He's in terrific form right now. And I know that his promoter, Frank Warren, thinks that he's going to go all the way to a world title. Looking for his 5th win of the year.
Oh, it's a busy career as well, isn't it? That's what he wants. I know most fighters would love to have 5 fights in a 12-month period, and it's been paying dividends because he's looking sharp. What's impressive about Paul Butler is the way he puts his punches together in combinations with fluency, accuracy.
Montoya promises to put the pressure on, throw lots of hooks. But has he got the sort of footwork which is going to get him into the position to do so? Oh, good body shot from Butler. Butler loves his football, likes his snooker and his pool, as we've told you before. What he has tried to keep quiet, I suspect, is that he's failed his driving test 4 times.
Oh, nice little jab to the body there, and an uppercut to the chest. It's good from Butler, taking his time. He's taking the centre of the ring. That's the most important part. Montoya promised that he was going to come at Paul Butler, but it's easier said than done.
And of course, Butler's studied him. He knows what to expect. He knows he's going to come forward trying to throw hooks, and he says he's an in-your-face fighter, which should be absolutely tailor-made for Butler.
Yeah, but he's been a little bit cagey, hasn't he, in this round, Montoya?
How much do you think it would have actually helped Butler to have gone 12 rounds in September with that fight against Gonzalez?
It is invaluable, really is. just to show that he can knock everyone out. And Gonzalez, even though he had an undefeated record, was quite negative in that fight. So Paul had to go looking for him. You know, the guy was always cagey, couldn't hit him clean with too many shots, and it was a good experience. But I think with Montoya, he's going to be an easier target to hit. Nice little lead left hook.
Yeah, lovely, wasn't it? And again. Well, one from the right side as well. Montoya, a thick torso, he's got broad shoulders. Actually suffered a defeat in his first fight of 2013. His draw was on his debut, which was 10 years ago. Well, one round in the bag, and one round for Paul Butler.
Yeah, nice sharp round there for Paul Butler. From the range early, kept the centre of the ring. Good work.
Anthony Farnell in the Butler corner. He'll be the one who you'll hear giving the instructions. Under a nice left hook there, and they landed some really tasty body shots as well.
Yeah, well, actually, the hook that landed on Montoya's chin was meant for the body. Montoya just ducked low and took it on the face.
He knows you go back on fuck. You know what I mean? Boom. So he won't fuck, he's scared. You'll beat him moving fast. Lovely that, honestly, lovely.
Speed in and out.
Speed, beautiful. Not just yet, mate. Not even yet. Oh, when you do sometimes for yourself.
10 seconds, corners.
The left one get through.
Arnie reckons Montoya's fighting scared.
Well, he's very wary for sure.
Cagey.
And that's what Paul came straight out, didn't he? You know, sharp, took the centre of the ring, as I've already said. Good jab in there, that's good. Just needs to keep doing that. Oh, good right hand as well from Butler.
Montoya was promising to come rolling in and run fast hooks, but it doesn't really look as though it's going to happen on the basis of what we've seen so far. Butler with a big reach advantage.
Yeah, you can't miss Montoya with that jab, can you, at the moment? Good right hand, just a little lean back on it, just took his back foot with him as well, so he's still in the centre of his stance when he avoided the punch, and a nice little right hand over the top.
Just joining us from entertainment elsewhere, this is the WBO Intercontinental Super Flyweight battle between Paul Butler and Ruben Montoya of Mexico, and still to come, a fascinating looking battle between Derry Matthews, local hero, against the Irishman, Stephen Ormond.
Butler boxing excellent. Lead left uppercuts. Oh, there again, the same shot. Just trying to encourage Montoya to come on, and so Montoya opens up a little bit, and he can. Butler then can let go and land on the target.
Well, Montoya's just getting a bit more ambitious. But they're long swings, those hooks.
And they're the shots you got when you're going backwards. They're the shots you got to be careful of. It's okay when you're coming forwards because they're coming over your head. Good body shot there from Montoya.
Yeah, got the Mexican corner a little bit more animated than they've been thus far. Done out in the red and green of the national flag. Montoya's getting closer with that left hook.
You just have to see Paul go back to keeping his shape, Butler to keeping his hands up.
Kept walking forward, Montoya. It's the only way he can fight, I think. And he was actually having just a little bit more success. Don't think he won the round, but he was getting into range more.
Well, I think Butler volunteered the space. That was the problem. Just dropping his hands a little bit, just trying to encourage Montoya on. does something, maybe trying to work him onto a left hook or an uppercut maybe, but when he lets his hands go, he can't miss the target, Butler. I still prefer him on the front foot, though.
Nice boxing, nice feet. Lovely feet, lovely feet. Like, what else trying to do? He's not bad going there. Like, don't let him keep going. Touching you there. Play a part in it, you know. You alright?
10 seconds, corners.
Nice, superb. As well, yeah? Left.
Seconds out, round 3.
Every fighter needs a different manner of instruction. Paul Butler getting the encouragement, telling him that everything is going absolutely superbly. Or absolutely superb, as Arnie puts it.
And it is. Butler wants to get that left hook in the play. There you go. He wants to get that left hook at the body. Just a little feint, I think, for Paul. A little feint before he throws it. And once they taste that left hook to the ribs, they're more aware of what's coming their way then, so they're looking for that shot. They're expecting it to come, so you need to just disguise it a little bit more. Oh, lovely. Really good work with the left hand.
Traditionally, a lot of strength in the Hispanic part of the boxing world, in these smaller weights. Montoya keeps ploughing forward, looking to throw big left hooks as he does so. His corner urging him to get on the front foot, carry the fight to Butler. That's a good shot.
Yes, he's better, isn't he, Butler, when he's on the front foot? He's better when he's going forward, for me. He's still controlling things on the back foot, but just don't want to give Montoya any more encouragement, don't want to give him any more momentum.
Paul Butler's dad on the far side of the ring by that corner post on the right. He's watching every shot in there. Woman alongside him, who I strongly suspect may be Paul's mum. She can't watch a single moment of the action.
Oh, good work there from Butler. Nice little left hook to the rib.
Crowd, the Mexican corner again getting very excited about that left hand. Partially blocked by Butler, but he's getting more into range. Or as you say, being allowed to be. It's a good body shot.
To be fair from Butler, there's some good defensive work there, just blocking things with his arms and his shoulders. Just needs to move his head a little bit more, Paul Butler.
Closest round though, this one. And Montoya is having a bit of success, drilling his way in and throwing body shots.
He's having some success, but he's still getting outboxed, isn't he?
Caught in there.
He did.
Well, he may well have been outboxed, but Montoya dominated the last minute of that, and certainly the Mexican visitors think that they won that round.
Yeah, not for me. I think Butler's cleaner work was enough to see him through. Good jab there, nice little combination there from Butler. And then Montoya just missing with that left hook, which he's had success with, hasn't he? Especially in that round. Again, there you go, doubling up with the left hook and then just carrying on with a nice little flurry of combination. And it's just because Butler just gave away the space, gave away the ground, and almost encouraged Montoya on.
Give credit where it's due, though. Montoya does look physically strong.
Yeah, he does, yeah. He looks like he can fight all night as well. I don't think he's going to get tired quick. Ex-Cardiff City player, Robbie Fowler.
10 seconds.
I just knew you were going to say that.
Seconds out, round 4.
Any others you claim?
He played for us. He played
I
for
know
us.
he did.
And we love him.
Good player, Robbie was. another solid body shot from Montoya, who seems to be gaining in confidence.
Oh, look at that. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just that injection of pace.
Switches to southpaw momentarily.
Just needs to keep flicking that jab up, but no, flicking it, placing it out, throwing it out hard. That's all he needs to keep doing.
Two of them landing simultaneously. Butler being forced to give ground again. Nicely doubling up on the left hook. Beautiful. That was quality.
Switching from body to head really well, doesn't he, with that left hand, Butler. And it's the hand speed. That's the difference between these two right now, really is.
There's a bull-like strength about Montoya, which makes you suspect that he's going to keep on coming. And that it could be a long fight.
That's better, good work.
Study and concentration, Butler.
Great, yeah, it really is concentrating. Because he's seeing these shots coming, even though they're swinging shots, he's blocking them. And look at that really good evasion work there from Butler. Boxing brilliant off the back foot.
But Montoya is looking like the one putting the pressure on, and I know it's a well-thumbed sort of text, but when he's on the front foot, as Montoya is, judges can be impressed.
Yeah, but for me, this round being totally outboxed really is. Really just totally outboxed. I think that was great boxing on the back foot there from Butler.
4 rounds up, at least on your card.
Yep.
That was his best little flurry there.
All of a sudden, he puts an injection of pace and he just looks a different class, doesn't he? Puts his punches together, effortlessly, just seamlessly. Really good work. Like I said, Montoya is going to keep coming all night, isn't he? And
Paul Butler gives the impression of somebody who's only too happy to oblige. Anyway, let's see what Arnie's making of it.
That's about a big shot. Use your speed. You've got to make his game. You can't get it. So, like, pepper him with that, pepper him with that, pepper him with that. Whack! Sit, tap, whack! Subs him. You know what I mean?
10 second bonus.
You can't use your...
Second down, round 5.
Paul's dad closest to us. He gets a clear view. Lady alongside him, watching through little gaps in her fingers, I think. Anthony Farnell impressing on Paul Butler that he didn't need to load up on every shot. Montoya wildly swinging through thin air for the most part.
It's great work. Really is good boxing from Butler for me.
What's that about? Not sure I quite understand that one. Maybe use of the head.
You just think Montoya was like a bull and he's just coming forward. I think Butler had a little bit of a moan about it.
WBO appointed official for this one. Good shot from Montoya. Real heavy, solid left hook.
And look at left hook then again from Montoya. Butler just taking his
I'll tell you what, he's starting to load up here, Montoya, and he's starting to get more success. It'll be interesting to see if he takes some of the mobility away from Butler, who's now responding.
Still needs to keep his shape though, Paul, but he needs to keep his hands up nice and high. Don't lose that discipline.
Solid left hand once more from Montoya, who's landed some clubbing blows in this round.
Yeah, some of those shots for me are being blocked by Butler.
Well, that missed by about 1.5 foot, that left hand. Butler content to let him come.
He gets caught, but every time he moves to the right, it's usually a good move. Just to, when you go into the left, just change direction a little bit. But he gets caught that way, so maybe somebody wants to stop.
The stronger side, isn't it, Montoya?
Yeah.
That's where the danger comes from. Such as it is.
That for me though, John, I'm not sure if we might disagree, but I'd give Butler that round as well. I think he still boxed well off the back foot. I think a lot of Montoya's swinging shots, he put a lot of pressure, but I think a lot of the shots are being blocked.
Yeah,
They're not there though.
He boxed well, he didn't. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I didn't think Butler did a huge amount in that round. And Montoya looking like the aggressor for much of it, apart from there.
We're on fire tonight, John.
Yeah, thanks, boys. That's the editing team. That's the old 1-2. They do you first and then take me out.
The only
10 seconds, bonus.
the success, right, is when you're still on the ropes. Right? So,
Seconds out, round 6.
Sixth round, it's a 12-rounder for the WBO Intercontinental Super Flyweight title. Butler on Barry's card, a long way ahead.
I like it in every round so far. I think he's boxed well. Lovely little combination there from Butler to start the round off.
Good footwork, Butler. Terrific balance and reflexes.
He springs out of trouble quick, doesn't he?
I think we've seen that Montoya is not going to be discouraged, though. It's looking like it's going to be a distance fight, this one.
Well, a lot of Mexicans are almost methodical in their work, and they just keep coming forward and no injection of pace in their work, but just keep methodically moving, swinging their arms wildly, and this is Montoya down to a T.
Well, Butler calls himself the baby-faced assassin, doesn't he? So he's obviously an admirer of some of the Mexican fighters, notably the man who was most famously named that, Marco Antonio Barrera. Montoya's not quite cut from that cloth. There's a more predictable sort of bull-like strength about him.
Again, Montoya swinging but missing for me, and if he does hit the target, I think Butler's blocking a lot of the shots. Brilliant work. Oh.
Came off the ropes well, and saying to Montoya, come on, if you want it, keep coming. Montoya happy to oblige, and he's getting through with some of those body shots. Strong guy, committed guy. Second time he's been told off about getting his head involved, though. Only one Paul Butler, the champ, goes up again from the travelling Ellesmere Port fans. allowing Montoya to come onto him once more.
Oh, it's brilliant work, isn't it? You can see everything that's coming his way.
So much is being taken on gloves and arms. With a smile, he's enjoying it, looking across to his own corner.
It's something you wouldn't tell your fighter to do, though. It's something that you would just really be against. You don't know what, you don't volunteer yourself onto the rope and take punches.
There was one rather famous fighter who once did that to very good effect. Ask George Foreman.
Brilliant round again for me for Butler.
And a smile from Butler at Montoya as he went back to his corner. Look at this.
He's having fun in there, isn't he? Look at that, but it's brilliant. Really good work. And then just a little skip out the way there, just I've done my work.
It's the accuracy, Barry.
He's been great. Just brilliant boxing off the back foot.
Montoya's looking a little bit disconsolate in his corner, shaking his head as his cornerman's ranting at him there, trying to get him onto a different level.
10 seconds, corners.
Certainly doesn't look as though there's any quit in him, but no fighter likes to get out there and be humiliated, and there were stages in that last round when it was a little bit like that.
The worst thing in the world for a fighter, obviously getting beat up is the first one, but is missing. When you miss with punches, it's just one of the most heartbreaking things that can happen.
Well, even the hardest of them all found that one difficult to stomach, didn't he? Roberto Duran, all those years ago. And he turned his back and walked in the no-mass fight against Sugar Ray Leonard. Montoya still bravely coming forward and taking huge shots. And just for a moment there, I thought he was going to say, that's enough. And Butler is getting firmly on top now here as we move into the second half of the fight. Target practice, hand speed's brilliant.
He won't be deterred, will he, Montoya? Look at him, still coming forward. Good left hook there from Montoya. But Butler's only on the ropes because he wants to be there. That's the difference. He hasn't been forced back to the ropes.
3 or 4 clubbing hooks again got through from Montoya, but he's looking increasingly laboured. I mean, it was never exactly the stuff of instinct even in the early stages, but now it seems that he's having to push his punches, and Butler is moving still with the same lovely fluency.
For me, I think Butler's slowly breaking him down on the back foot. I really do. Slapping with that right hand there,
Yeah,
Montoya.
that's inside of the glove, that you could hear it. Now that was a more legitimate shot from Montoya. Clipped him round the chops with the left hand. Head again coming in low from Montoya. The referee suggesting that Butler was pushing him down.
Again, just Butler just boxing the ears off this kid, isn't he?
Solid body shots from Montoya, though. Still retaining the strength. I just wondered between rounds when he was shaking his head and looking a bit disconsolate as whether or not he's starting to think he'd had enough. But look at this. Butler trying to block the worst of it, and now coming back with a huge flurry of blurring hand speed. The crowd standing up and roaring their encouragement. Sensational explosion off the ropes from Paul Butler.
Just tremendous stuff, wasn't it? Really was.
Well, if you take away a memory of this evening's boxing, you could do a lot worse than remember that. Montoya unloading for what, 10-15 seconds? Butler seemingly in trouble, you'd have thought, just absorbing it, just riding it out, and then coming back with this.
It's a little bit of a sugary Leonard Marvin Hagler, isn't it? It is just when you think he's under a little bit of pressure, he just comes back with a fast flurry of punches. Just to fight his way off the ropes, really good stuff, and had the crowd on their feet.
Oh, the big crowd at the Echo Arena absolutely loved that.
10 seconds bonus.
Over the top, then oof, yeah. Come on. Hey, that was superb. Relax, on.
Seconds out. Round 8.
How much more desire does Montoya have?
Well, I don't think he's been hurt, have he? To his credit, he's taken everything without any complaint, and he looks physically fit enough. But he is, for me, being totally outboxed.
Right hand, just a glancing blow off the face of Butler. Two big hooks this time from Butler. Almost a little bit of touche, anything you can do. If I choose to do it, I can do the same.
Montoya needs to straighten up his punches, doesn't he? Slapping with those shots.
A couple of those left hooks thudded home.
Right on the button, that one, John. He's slapping with his shots, Montoya. He needs to turn his hand over on the punches. I'd like to see him throw straight shots down the middle. But let's seeing all these hooks and these wild hooks come, you can see him blocking everything.
Just depends how the judges interpret it, though. It's pressure which is being applied by the Mexican. Two more body shots from Montoya, finding the targets.
Again, Butler's just blocking everything that comes his way.
Happy to sink back onto the ropes again and let Montoya expend energy.
And to be fair, I think he's having the better of it as well. I think, you know, Montoya is slapping, most of his shots are being blocked, but as you said, to the judge behind Montoya, it looks like Montoya's having success.
I honestly don't think the judges will be seeing it that way, Barry. I think this is a Montoya round so far. Certainly the guy who's sitting right in front of us, who is getting up close and personal to those hooks thudding home.
Oh, brilliant work again.
Inbuilt clock in Butler's head, and he's just looking for the eye-catching flurry in the closing seconds of the round. So you're giving that Butler as well?
I am, John, yeah, honestly, I really am. I can't get Montoya around.
Right, if you step in, bam, 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 right, and then you go back.
I think there's certainly an argument that Montoya won that last round, and I personally think that they will give him that. So on my card, that's going down for him. Ooh. Sorry to beg to differ, and I think there are a couple earlier on where you could have made the same case.
Yeah, well, I think the third was one that you thought.
Third and the fifth.
But for me, I think Butler's blocking everything that's coming his way. I think he's countering superb, and in the last 30 seconds, then he's flurrying just to put a stamp on the round.
Move off and go again. Move off, go again. Move off, go again.
Butler's winning the fight, though. I think that surely can be too much in doubt.
Seconds out, round 9.
Hope you're enjoying the boxing action with us here on Box Nation. Well, thanks to our big sponsor tonight, JD Sports. mentioning sponsors, better give the big up for Raynham Steel as well. Still looking as though it's going to go all the way though, this, Barry.
Yeah, to be fair to Montoya, he's been one for his head, but he's not charging forward with it. He's just staying nice and low. I don't think he's doing anything wrong, to be fair.
I think it's what he's got to do, isn't it?
You got to get close to Butler, haven't you? It's the only time he's having any success. Again, he's throwing shots, but everything's being blocked for me. Maybe not. Maybe one
uppercut wasn't blocked.
No. But I see what you're saying, though. You know, it gives the impression, doesn't it, that he's getting having success.
All very well blocking, but you've got to throw some decent shots of your own.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so far, it's been a decent round, hasn't it, for Montoya, but not really doing too much. There we go, right on cue.
Look at permanence about Montoya, though. Just blinked and kept trudging forward.
Lovely lead uppercut there from Paul Butler, again with his back to the ropes.
Second time in consecutive fights, it's looking as though Butler is heading for the 12-round distance. Urging Montoya to keep on coming towards him. I don't think he's going to get him out of there, though. I don't think he's got the power to move this man.
Oh, nice little left hook, though, catching Montoya coming forward there.
Just bounces off, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah, he takes a shot, Montoya. Looking a little bit tired as well for the first time for me. And with a few hooks of his own there, Montoya.
Well, they're both having to dig in so deep here. Montoya particularly, he's been the aggressor. He's been trying to force the pace. Well, are we agreed that's a Montoya round?
We'll give that to him, John.
Thank you.
Just to keep you happy.
Huge effort. To think that at the end of the 5th round, he was looking pretty disconsolate that things were going against him. Montoya has made a big effort.
Yeah, it's still for me all the quality comes from Butler, but just not enough. Certainly not enough in that round.
Pretty much unmarked.
Si lo dejas hacer su pelea, no vas a hacerle nada, Ruben. Hay que presionarlo, mijo.
10 seconds bonus. Seconds out, round 10.
Tenth round. Maybe Butler's just taken his foot off the gas a little in the last round or two. Time for him to have something a little bit more impressive.
Well, Butler, no, he's seeing the punches coming, Butler. He can block and counter very well. I just like to see him do it in the centre of the ring rather than on the ropes. As you said, you know, it doesn't give the impression then, does it, that he's under any sort of pressure.
Reminder coming up next with the WBO European Lightweight Championship. Stephen Orman, the Irishman, against local man Derry Matthews.
Oh, brilliant again from Butler. 4 or 5 jabs then, a nice little flurry of a combination.
Well, he needed to do this, Barry. He's imposing himself now. He just lost his momentum a little bit, I think, and he'd given Montoya encouragement.
Well, he fights well off the ropes, Butler, and it's obviously something they've been practicing, but like you're saying, just giving away too much ground sometimes.
I can think of a few referees who'd be saying something about some of those punches, some of those body shots which are coming in from Montoya as being slaps.
He's been slapping all night with that, especially with the right hand. He hits you with the fingers.
Used to say the same about Joe Calzaghe, though, didn't they? Slapped pretty hard.
And that would be the only comparison.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be mentioning Ruben Montoya and Joe Calzaghe in the same breath again after now, promise.
Nice little combination there from Butler, just dancing out the distance. That's better, just working beyond the jab.
Up on his toes again now, Butler, and doing more to command centre ring, looking as though he's the aggressor, which I think is probably important. Needs to make sure in the time remaining in this fight.
Oh, good left hook as well. I don't think Montoya throwing a straight punch all night.
No, the jab's not really part of the arsenal, is it?
But even that right hand on the middle, that right hand there, that Butler threw, Montoya needs one of those.
Bull and the Matador now.
Oh, it's great, you know. We all want to see barnstorming fights, you know, and fighting in phone booths and sort of stuff. But boxing off the back foot is an art, and Butler's done it very well again tonight.
Well, that was a terrific boxing display for much of that round from Butler.
If you look at his eyes, he can't handle.
And if there was a bit of a stutter in his progress, he certainly regained his position of preeminence in that 10th.
Yeah, again, Butler showing that he's still got the accuracy and the timing, even in this late stage of the fight.
When you throw 2, it kills him. But when you throw 3 and 4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So keep on going, yeah? What is it? And this will be all round now. I say that, it's a tough box, don't I? Hey?
10 seconds, corners.
They're enjoying themselves, and good to see the trainer-fighter relationship as happy as it would appear to be.
Well, they've got everything to be happy about, aren't they? You know, they're boxing well, they're winning handedly, and never once been troubled.
Well, let's see if he can be as good as the instructions, if he can let his punches go in bunches now. Montoya keeping plodding forward, trying to get into range to land the body shots.
Right hand over the top there, landing from Montoya. That's better from Butler, just working beyond the jab, keeping the centre ring, just spin around the opponent. You can still box on the back foot.
There we go, that's the switch from body to head, which Anthony Farnell had been asking for. Montoya complaining that Butler was using the head then.
And to be fair to Montoya, he's tucked up tight, hasn't he, tonight, because Butler hasn't really been able to get too many left hooks to the ribs on target.
He took time to settle to it, Montoya, somehow. First couple of rounds, it was a very tentative start. But he has kept on coming. Takes 2 to make a fight, and he's tried to put pressure on. Not always the most educated form of pressure, but he's kept on the front foot.
Well, it's that methodical sort of Mexican engine, isn't it? They just keep going forward at the same pace.
Chugging.
Chugging, perfect, yeah. That's better from Butler, just spinning his opponent when he gets him on the ropes. Not too much weight behind Butler's shots, but the accuracy is great, the hand speed is great, yeah.
Parents in the corner. I'm assuming that is his mum, and I just she can't have seen more than a dozen punches landed all the way through the fight.
Again, nothing landing there from Montoya.
Quality again from Butler in the closing seconds of this, the 11th round.
Boxing southpaw.
Montoya just walking into any number of counter punches, and surely another round in the bag there.
Stick on about this one, yeah? How was you pushing away there?
What?
Was you pushing away there? Stick to you, Seth. Or just what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Ruben. What's wrong with you? Right? You just got right, bang, bang, bang. Don't come right away. Go whack, whack, whack there. Make him miss a bang, bang again. Just little bits, little half steps. Not big steps, you know what I mean? That's fine. How long is this?
10 seconds, corners.
This is 11, isn't it? It's 12.
Seconds out for the 12th and final round.
So out they go for the last round. Touch of gloves. Totally different styles of these two fighters. And Paul Butler, well, Barry's got it by a mile. Got it a little bit more success for Montoya, but Butler surely is a long way ahead on the cards.
And for me, Anthony Fanel spot on in the corner, just saying, you know, where Paul Butler throws his combinations and jumps out the distance, Montoya then just walks forward and steals the space. Anthony Fanel saying, just jump out, just take a half a step out, so you're still out the distance, but you're not getting away too much ground, then throw back again, and he'd be right on the money with that.
Montoya bravely continues to plough forward. A lot of these punches, though, just going through thin air. Glancing blow with the right hand. It's better.
Yeah, and the one to the head as well. Just whips that right hand to the body, doesn't he? It's all with the fingers. Just doesn't turn his hand over on the shot.
Well, he's loaded up on those punches for 12 rounds. Shows that Montoya is a strong man.
He is, and had a bit of success in this one, hasn't he, as well?
Butler just choosing to lie back on the ropes again. Clean shots not getting through.
No, one was at all blocked by the right hand or the left shoulder from Butler.
But then not a lot from Butler.
No, that's right. And you're talking about the impression, what it looks like.
And it looks like Montoya's forcing the fight and throwing the bigger shots. Mexican corner imploring Montoya to make a big grandstand finish, but he's taken a good left hand there. And he was caught pretty flush by that. Butler thinks that he's in trouble and Montoya has to give a bit of ground, and Butler's looking to try and take him out. 20 seconds to do it. But Montoya has that granite chin and takes everything that Butler throws at him. Grandstand finish from Butler. The final bell, no celebration from the Mexican. He must surely know. Anthony Farnell and Paul Butler embrace for much of that fight. A brilliant boxing performance from Paul Butler. Montoya his limitations exposed. He was strong, he kept pressing, but unless the judges have seen something vastly different to what we've seen, Butler's won it, and won it by a wide margin.
Yeah, I give Butler almost every round, haven't I? And a great fit.
One, the ninth, you gave to Montoya,
Yeah,
didn't
that's
you?
right. Yeah, I just think he just blocked everything, came his way. He was superb tonight. Boxed brilliant off the back foot, and almost finishing that last round. But he hurt Montoya with that left hook, and then followed up with a succession of heavy shots. Montoya's credit, he took him, and he deserved to see the final belt, I think, Montoya. But Butler's still looking great to me. You know, he sits on the ropes too much. You know, he's comfortable. There's a few things he can work on, but he's going at a tremendous pace, and to me, I still see him as a future world champion.
I think if you were being hugely generous to Ruben Montoya, hard to work out a persuasive argument for him having taken more than 3 or 4 rounds at the very most. And Paul Butler, the last 3 rounds, if there was any doubt, comprehensively outboxing him and ultimately out-punching him in that last round. And you've got it by, what have we got? You've got it 11 rounds to 1, Barry.
Yeah, I really have.
Let's see if the judges agree. Cards are being totted up. WBO officials. Still got the main event still to come. We're getting value for money tonight.
Oh, brilliant. It's been a good night's boxing. We've had some stoppages, and that, for me, was a masterclass there from Paul Butler. Brilliant, just expert boxing on the back foot.
Full marks to the bravery of Ruben Montoya, but I think now we're more or less in the position where we can get the result. Mark Burdiss is primed. Let's see how the judges have got it. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for both boxers who gave their all. After 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecard. We have a unanimous decision. Judge Dave Paris, 120-109. Michael Hook, 120-108. And Andre van Grudenbroel, 118-110, the winner, and the WBO and WBA Intercontinental Super Flyweight Champion in the red corner, from Ellesmere Port, the baby-faced assassin, Paul Butler.
Another virtuoso performance from Paul Butler. Happy smiles of relief and congratulations. One of the judges had it to complete shutout. Another, pretty much so, 1 round drawn. And the third judge, sitting right in front of us, managed to find a couple of rounds to Ruben Montoya. But Paul Butler winning, and winning so impressively once more.
Absolutely, John. Another belt going Paul Butler's way. 120-109, 120-108, and 118-110. A very, very decisive victory for Butler. But Montoya, he had no reverse gear in him at all. And Paul Butler, such an impressive fella. Super flyweight, just 8 stone 2, 8 stone 3, remember. And he closes in on that world title. He'll be ranked in those top 10s, probably moving up a little bit now by the 2 organisations, by the WBA and the WBO. Excellent performance from Butler, and he had his hands full there tonight, Steve.
Really good performance, but the scorecards don't do Montoya justice. I thought he won 2 or 3 rounds I gave him. Don't do him justice at all. Really had his hands full. You know, as you're developing as a fighter, it's about facing different styles and learning against them. The last time he had the 12 rounds against the awkward Chilean, who was very defence-minded. Tonight was the tough, rugged Mexican, and again, it'll do him the world of good. A really good performance, but all credit to Montoya and every penny of what he's taking back to Mexico with him.
Absolutely right. I just want to show you a couple of instances of Paul Butler on the ropes, taking everything the Mexican had, and then coming back. They had people on their feet here at the Echo.
Yeah, he did. I mean, crowd were going wild because, I mean, Butler, not only did he show some skill here tonight, speed, his footwork was amazing, but the best thing about him tonight, I think, was his defence. His defensive work was immaculate. For me, that was a punch-perfect display. I mean, you could see him getting really annoyed as well, you know, when he was taking shots. You could see all the shots coming, banging his gloves together, you know. You could see he's loving it, and he's He's great at his job. He really is good at his job.
The baby-faced,
Pleased for him.
we all are indeed. The baby-faced assassin Paul Butler delivers once again. Let's go ringside with Alex.
Yeah, all smiles and no surprise. That was a masterclass. You looked like you enjoyed yourself in there.
I did. I felt really comfortable. I've had a great training camp. Arnie's put me through my paces, and we've studied this kid, and I think everything went to plan in there tonight.
We don't often see fighters going to the ropes quite comfortably. Often they're pushed there. You seemed happy in that. The 6th and 7th round, how much did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed every round. Felt comfortable in there. Every time he pushed me back to the ropes, I could see everything coming. So I thought my defence was perfect there, and I seen the shots coming and I counted them. Every left hook he threw, I countered with a left hook or a right uppercut, and he landed all of them.
Did it feel easy in there? What did you learn?
He was very strong. It was easy at times, but there was times where I had to dig in and show him that I was the boss. And if I never showed him I was the boss, he could have just kept on coming all night and all night. He'd just gained confidence off it, but I wouldn't let him do that.
Arnie, there was a big smile on your face at the end of the first to sort of see all the work that you put in the gym coming into fruition. How much did you enjoy it tonight?
I thought it was an absolute perfect performance. You don't get soft Mexicans, you know, they're tough, and he was like one of the toughest I've ever seen. But what he does in there, it blows me away. I see it every day in the gym, but then to put into practice, it's brilliant.
Let's bring in Frank as well. He's got the WBO and now a WBA angle in as well. Where would you like to take those angles?
Well, he's in the, that gets him in the top 10 ranking. He's got, obviously he's got a bit of a way to go now, but, looking at tonight, for me, what come out tonight is, and what you think about going forward is stamina. He's not blowing. Yeah. He's got great temperament, cool head, done his own version of rope-a-dope all night long. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, watching him fight, he excites me. Paul really.
The crowd loved it as well.
Of course they do, because he can fight, and he's got a great, he's got a great temperament. And you look, he's banged his hand up badly in the 3rd round.
Might get a shot at that.
So he's banged that. So he done it with that. He didn't get flustered. He carried on, stuck to his game plan, and worked really hard. And for me, it can only get better and better. And the name of the game now is to make the right fights at the right time. And hopefully by the end of the year, he'll be fighting for a big title. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he excites me watching him fight. I love it. For me, that's what boxing's all about.
I'll tell you what, there'll be Coach Lutz from Ellesmere Port coming as well. Final word for you. Your mum, Jill, hardly watched a moment of that. Is she always like that?
She's been like that since I've been 11 years of age. Every amateur show she comes to, she watches through her fingers.